Witnesses in Colombia observed the object gliding with purpose until it struck high-voltage power lines and dropped to the ground.
These are the most baffling things that dropped from above.
Is that a person?
Oh my god, it's got wings! Hold on!
Leaving everyone stunned. Watch till the end.
Wow, did you see that?
A routine drive in Thailand turned into something no one could explain. The dash cam showed traffic moving normally. Then, without warning, a massive object dropped straight down from the sky, barely missing the car ahead. It wasn't sharp like a falling rock. It looked rounded, almost controlled. There were no cliffs, no aircraft overhead, nothing obvious to blame. Skeptics called it debris. Others talked about a malfunctioning UFO. The strangest part wasn't the impact. It was the silence afterward, as no officials stepped in to explain the strange falling. Worm rain. In a world changing rapidly, we can expect anything to happen around us. In Ling, China, residents looked up during a storm and found worms raining from the sky. They splattered across windshields, sidewalks, and even umbrellas, raised in disbelief. The footage spread quickly, leaving people torn between laughter and confusion. Scientists offered a grounded explanation. Powerful winds may have swept the worms into the air before dropping them back down. Still, watching living creatures fall like raindrops feels unnatural. It's one of those moments that reminds you, nature doesn't need the supernatural to shock you. Sometimes, reality is strange enough. Burning descent.
Something fell out of the sky and landed and is causing a fire.
A driver passing through a quiet stretch of land noticed something strange blazing across the sky. By the time he reached for his camera, the object had already crashed beyond the hills. What he captured instead was a thick, dark trail of smoke carving a line through the sky. At the impact site, smoke continued rising, but there were no visible flames. He insisted the object was on fire as it fell. Some claimed it was a meteor fragment, others suggested military testing, and then some believed it was something not meant to be seen.
Something fell out of the sky and landed and is causing a fire.
Fish storm. During intense rains in the Yasuj region, Iran, residents recorded something surreal. Live fish falling from the sky, flopping on wet pavement as if freshly pulled from water. The videos went viral almost instantly. Unlike other strange sightings, this one had a scientific explanation. Experts say waterspouts or tornadoes can lift fish, frogs, and other small creatures into the air, carrying them until winds weaken and release them miles away. It may sound unbelievable, but it's a documented phenomenon. Even so, watching fish rain down from the clouds is enough to unsettle anyone. Frozen skyfall. No one expected something this solid to fall from the sky. It began as an ordinary day. Then the sky started dropping ice, huge brick-like chunks crashing onto streets and rooftops. Mixed among them were fish, frozen solid. People ran for cover, stunned that no one was seriously injured. Some saw it as an omen. Others explained it as a rare atmospheric event, where water froze at high altitudes and clumped into massive hailstones before falling. The science made sense on paper, but standing beneath a sky that throws down frozen blocks, in that moment it felt less like weather and more like the world malfunctioning. Twin fireballs. In 2017, the Canadian sky delivered a sight no one was prepared for. Two blazing fireballs descended rapidly, side by side, connected by what looked like a crackling electric line. A smoky trail stretched behind them as they dropped lower, almost synchronized in motion. Witnesses scrambled for explanations. Some jumped straight to aliens. Others insisted it had to be advanced aircraft or space debris. Yet no clear statement ever followed. No confirmation, no denial, just footage looping online, fueling debates. Another unexplained entry added to the growing list of strange things streaking across our skies. Pyramid beam. At dusk near the pyramids, a tourist aimed a camera at the skyline, just in time to capture something extraordinary. A bright beam of light descended from above and gently touched the pyramid's peak, illuminating it in an eerie glow. It didn't flicker like lightning. It lingered, almost deliberate. Theories spread instantly. Some argued it was a rare atmospheric effect. Others believed it looked controlled, precise, intentional, like a signal locking in. For decades, whispers have linked pyramids to something beyond Earth. This clip didn't prove anything, but it certainly made those whispers louder. Spider shower.
Like 50 spiders in the sky now, just hanging around.
Residents in southern Brazil once looked up to what seemed like a nightmare. Spiders filling the sky. Dozens appear to float overhead, creating the illusion of a living rainstorm. Panic spread quickly online, but the truth was less supernatural and more biological. During hot, humid weather, Parawixia bistriata spiders build enormous, nearly invisible webs that stretch across wide areas. When light hits the silk just right, it makes the spider seem suspended in midair. It wasn't an invasion. It wasn't raining spiders. It was nature performing one of its strangest optical illusions. The orb.
On June 20th, 2025, acclaimed investigative journalist Jaime Maussan convened a major press conference in Mexico City to present initial scientific findings surrounding the object now known as the Bugosphere.
For years, stories of mysterious flying orbs have circulated without proof. Then came footage of one descending to the ground as researchers rushed toward its landing site. The object, later nicknamed the Bugosphere, was reportedly cold to the touch and etched with unusual markings. In June 2025, journalist Jaime Maussan presented early findings during a press conference in Mexico City, claiming the object defied simple explanation. Skeptics suspect advanced human engineering. Believers argue otherwise. Whatever it is, the orb has reignited debate over whether some sightings are more than just lights in the sky. Black Swarm.
You've seen that dramatic video of hundreds of birds literally falling from the sky into a neighborhood. What on earth was going on?
In 2022, residents of a small Mexican city witnessed something that looked apocalyptic. Hundreds of dark shapes spiraled downward from the sky, crashing toward the streets like a living storm. Within seconds, birds covered the ground, while others quickly regained flight and scattered. The footage felt chaotic, almost unnatural. Initial reactions ranged from environmental disaster to magnetic disturbance. Later investigations offered a calmer explanation. The flock had been evading a predator, diving suddenly in a desperate maneuver. It wasn't supernatural, just survival. But for those who saw the sky collapse in black wings, it felt like something far darker. Plasma fall. In November 2025, a resident in Japan captured a blazing object tearing through the sky. It wasn't just a streak of light. The fireball glowed intensely, radiating a bright, almost sun-like aura as smoke trailed behind it. At first, viewers labeled it a burning UAP, but when the footage zoomed closer, the surface looked less like metal and more like swirling plasma. That's when discussions escalated. Artificial suns, secret experiments, hidden aerospace projects. Officials offered no dramatic explanation, and whatever truly fell that night, it didn't resemble anything ordinary entering Earth's atmosphere. Jelly blobs.
There's some kind of jelly fungus here at the base of our raspberry bushes.
After a heavy downpour, a couple stepped onto their patio and froze. Scattered near their raspberry bushes were strange, translucent, jelly-like spheres, glistening in the rainwater. Unsure of what they'd found, they contacted experts and received an unexpected answer. The blobs were likely water-retaining crystals used in gardening soil, swollen after absorbing rain. Though harmless, their sudden appearance felt unsettling. Adding to the mystery, similar sightings have been reported worldwide, often spreading wild theories before simple explanations emerge. Sometimes the strangest discoveries aren't alien at all, just ordinary materials transformed by nature.
What is that stuff?
Somebody dumped something here.
I suppose that's rare delicacy. Someone's gonna come here.
Skyfall Stream. A viral clip shows what appears to be a waterfall pouring directly from the clouds into the sea below. No storm, no visible aircraft, just a single, steady column of water plunging from a gap in the sky. It didn't swirl like a tornado or spread like rainfall. It flowed in one concentrated stream, almost as if a hidden valve had opened above. Viewers described it as portal-like, unnatural in its precision. Experts suggest it could be a rare condensation phenomenon or localized pressure release. Still, watching water descend in one perfect stream feels anything but normal. Red rain. In July 2001, parts of Kerala, India, experienced rainfall unlike anything before. The water didn't run clear. It fell tinted deep red. Residents feared the worst, imagining apocalyptic signs staining the ground. Scientists later identified microscopic red particles suspended in the rainwater. Under a microscope, they resembled biological cells. Yet the particles didn't clearly match any known local organism at the time, fueling debate and uncertainty. Though studies attempted to settle the mystery, the event remains one of the most unusual weather phenomena ever recorded. Rain that looked more like it belonged in a warning than a forecast. Night crash. On August 27th in Oaxaca, Mexico, dozens witnessed a fiery object streak across the night sky before descending toward the horizon. Multiple videos captured the glowing descent, igniting instant debate. Some insisted it was an alien craft spiraling out of control. Others argued it resembled a meteor burning through the atmosphere. Curiosity deepened when a local man drove toward the impact site, only to find the road sealed off by police. Flames flickered beyond the barricade. With so many witnesses and restricted access, suspicion only intensified. Was it space debris or something far less ordinary? Cloud City. Ever experienced walking outside and seeing your skyline duplicated in the clouds above? In 2015, a video from China appeared to show a massive city floating in midair. Towering shapes hovered above the real buildings, clear enough to cause global debate. Some believed it was proof of something hidden or advanced beyond our understanding. An atmospheric scientist offered a calmer explanation. A fata morgana, a rare mirage that bends light and lifts distant objects higher than they truly are. Illusion or elaborate hoax, the sight of a city suspended in the sky was enough to unsettle anyone watching. Frog Fall. Forget rain or hail. In one small town, frogs began dropping from the sky. The ground quickly filled with them as stunned residents ran for cover. The footage spread fast, producing panic and wild theories online. Some viewers called it an omen, a sign of something biblical unfolding. Others pointed to extreme weather, suggesting strong winds or waterspouts may have lifted the frogs from a nearby body of water before releasing them overhead. That explanation sounds reasonable, but when amphibians start falling instead of raindrops, logic feels distant and disbelief takes over. Sky Spiral. On May 6, 2011, residents of Tromsø, Norway, looked up to see a glowing spiral twisting across the night sky. A bright blue trail fed into a spinning vortex that lingered for nearly 2 minutes. Even in a region familiar with northern lights, this display felt different, too precise, too structured. Various talks surged instantly, but scientists soon traced the sightings to a rocket launch that released fuel high in the atmosphere, creating the swirling formation. What looked like a portal opening above Norway turned out to be human technology, painting the sky in dramatic fashion. Ring portal. In New Mexico, a glowing light drifted toward a mountain before erupting into something stranger. Two bright rings shot sideways, followed by smoky circles blasting upward. Then a luminous opening appeared in the clouds, expanding and shifting from white to rainbow hues, before vanishing entirely. The sequence looked almost choreographed. Online, people called it a portal, convinced something had crossed through. With no immediate official explanation, debates intensified. Was it a rare atmospheric reaction, experimental activity, or pure coincidence? Whatever caused it, the sky briefly behaved in a way that defied expectation. Winged fall.
Is that a person?
Oh my god, it's got wings! Hold on!
Traffic froze on a busy road when something massive dropped from the sky. At first, witnesses thought it was a person. Then someone shouted, "It has wings!" The dark figure appeared almost humanoid, with tangled hair and a face that many described as terrifying. No visible arms, just wide black wings stretching outward. The clip exploded online discussions. Some claimed it was a failed laboratory experiment. Others said something far darker, like the Angel of Death Keres from Greek mythology. However, no clear explanation ever followed. And what unsettled viewers most wasn't just what they saw. It was how little it resembled anything known.
Is that a person?
Oh my god, it's got wings! Hold on!
Sky Pyramid.
Massive. It's the size of a skyscraper at least. It's a huge formation.
Filmed from an airplane window over Kumamoto, Japan, this clip revealed a towering pyramid-shaped formation rising above the clouds. The narrow structure appeared enormous, stretching upward like a skyscraper piercing the sky. Captured on a passenger's phone, the footage quickly fueled debate. Some viewers insisted it was impossible, claiming the size alone defied physics. Others suggested it could be a rare cloud formation shaped by wind and light. Still, its sharp outline and massive scale felt almost architectural. Natural illusion or something more unusual. The image leaves one question lingering. What exactly was floating up there?
Very narrow pyramid pointing directly up into the sky.
Kiev Flash.
Wow, did you see that?
One night, Kiev's sky ignited with a sudden, brilliant flash. The burst of light appeared without warning, leaving residents staring upward in confusion. Initial discussions pointed toward a falling satellite, but that theory was quickly dismissed. Another explanation surfaced, a meteorite blazing through the atmosphere, creating a dramatic flare before burning out. Officials leaned toward the natural cause, yet for those who witnessed it firsthand, the intensity of the glow felt extraordinary. A brief flash, gone in seconds, but powerful enough to initiate global curiosity.
Wow, did you see that?
Mountain craft. High in the mountains, far from crowded cities, a hiker captured something unexpected. A luminous craft hovered above the rugged terrain, shining bright beams downward as if scanning the ground. The lights moved with purpose, sweeping across the surface below. Then, without warning, they switched off, and the object descended. The footage looked steady enough to challenge easy dismissal. Mountains have long been imagined as perfect hiding places for the aliens. If something wanted to stay unseen, that's where it would go. Flying figures. Reports of flying human-like figures surface often, but a few clips stand out. In one video from Russia, a floating silhouette appears suspended mid-air as lightning flashes around it from multiple directions. Witnesses gasp as the figure remains airborne. In another clip from India, a couple posing for a photo at a historic site later notice a human-shaped form gliding across the background. Both videos caused fierce debate. Are they elaborate visual tricks, carefully edited illusions, or something far stranger? When human shapes defy gravity, disbelief comes naturally, but so does curiosity. Twin descent.
That's a drone. It's low. Now look at above it comes another drone. Holy crap.
A local observer noticed two aerial objects drifting toward a wooded area. At first sight, they resembled ordinary drones. One hovered low, steady and mechanical. Then another appeared above it, descending in sync. Their movements weren't chaotic. They were controlled, almost coordinated. While drones are common, something about their timing and positioning felt unusual to those watching. The woman was left unsettled, and she kept asking questions about what she had just watched.
Go Bedminster. Go Bedminster.
Frozen flight.
It looks like a blackbird, but it's not moving.
When you hear motionless bird, you imagine it lying on the ground, but this one wasn't. Witnesses spotted what looked like a blackbird suspended midair, wings stretched, completely still, as if frozen in time. No visible wires, no nearby poles, just a bird hanging in the open sky. Some thought it was unalive. Others assumed it had somehow glitched reality. People stopped, filmed, and shared the strange sight online. But when authorities arrived to investigate, the bird had vanished without a trace. So what could possibly cause a bird to remain suspended like that? Some said it would be strange electromagnetic rays making the bird stop like that, while others pointed out it was a miracle from God himself.
That's a dead bird. Just floating in there. No strings, no nothing.
Ocean descent.
What is it?
A man relaxing on a quiet beach noticed something unusual falling from the sky. As he looked up, he saw a blazing streak descending slowly toward the ocean. It wasn't fast like a meteor, and it didn't flare out like fireworks. The fiery line moved steadily, almost deliberately, cutting through clouds before slipping beneath the horizon. At first, he thought it might be a rocket launch, but its path didn't match anything familiar. When it disappeared into the water, he was left shaken, staring at the waves. Some called it space debris. Others claimed it was something far stranger. Whatever it was, it left no clear answer behind.
What is it?
Swarm sky. The sky over parts of Russia turned terrifyingly dark, not from storm clouds, but from millions of locusts. The massive swarm covered roads, fields, and buildings, moving like a living shadow overhead. Drivers slowed as visibility dropped, and residents watched in disbelief as insects filled the air. Authorities quickly warned people to stay cautious, reminding them that locust plagues can devastate crops and damage infrastructure. While it may look apocalyptic, this phenomenon has a long history of causing real destruction. It's wild how something so small, multiplied by millions, can transform the sky into a moving nightmare. Barn encounter. In December 2024, a farm owner checking his CCTV footage noticed something unusual in the night sky. Two bright, disc-shaped objects hovered above his property. Then one suddenly dropped, appearing to land directly on his barn. But instead of crashing, it bounced off and shot back upward before vanishing into the darkness. The strange motion confused viewers online. It didn't look like a falling object losing control. It seemed almost intentional. Some believe they were drones. Others insist they were UFOs. With no official explanation, the footage remains another puzzling addition to the growing list of sightings. Just when it seemed the sky couldn't surprise us anymore, a massive smoke ring rose into view. In the footage, a thick, perfectly circular ring forms and slowly climbs higher, holding its shape longer than ordinary smoke would. Witnesses were stunned, wondering what could create something so precise in open air. Some guessed it came from an explosion or industrial source. Others joked that the sky itself was puffing smoke. Whatever caused it, the sight felt surreal and unexpected. Even with logical explanations available, watching a giant ring float overhead is enough to make anyone stop and stare. Green impact. Back in 2022, Jimmy and his family were fishing off the coast of Sarasota, Florida, when something dropped from the sky into the ocean nearby. At first, it looked like simple debris, but as they steered closer, thick green ooze began spreading across the water's surface. Smoke rose from the impact point, making the scene even more unsettling. When Jimmy tried calling the Coast Guard, every communication line suddenly went off. After he posted the footage online, it exploded in popularity. Some suggested rocket paint residue, though no launches were reported nearby. The real question is, should they have approached it at all? Drone collapse. During a high-tech drone light show in Henan, China, spectators expected a dazzling display. Instead, just 3 minutes after takeoff, hundreds of drones began dropping from the sky. What started as a synchronized moment quickly turned chaotic as glowing machines lost formation and fell one after another. Witnesses watched in shock as the carefully programmed choreography collapsed mid-air. Experts later blamed a technical malfunction that disrupted synchronization. Fortunately, no one was injured, but the event was effectively ruined. It was a sharp reminder that even the most advanced machines can fail without warning, especially when everything depends on perfect coordination. Rooftop visitor. A disturbing video circulated online showing what appeared to be a humanoid figure descending from the sky onto a church roof. The figure seemed to hold an object, then released it. But instead of falling, the object hovered mid-air before slowly rising back upward. The movement looked controlled and unnatural, fueling endless debate. Many insisted the footage had to be edited. Others claimed it captured something extraterrestrial, leaving behind a probe. Whatever the truth, the way the figure moved didn't resemble anything familiar. It felt staged to some, yet deeply unsettling to others, like something that wasn't meant to be witnessed. Falling iguanas. In Florida, falling iguanas have become a strange but real phenomenon. During unusually cold winter temperatures, these cold-blooded reptiles lose muscle control and enter a temporary state of paralysis. As they cling to tree branches, the cold stiffens their bodies until they simply drop to the ground. Last winter saw a noticeable spike in these incidents. The reason? Green iguanas aren't native to Florida, and their population has grown rapidly in recent years. More iguanas mean more chances to witness the bizarre sight of them falling from trees during cold snaps. It looks dramatic, but it's a natural response to freezing weather. The sleigh crash. Out of all things to land in someone's yard, it appeared to be Santa himself. A man quietly reading at home checked his security camera and saw what looked like a red sleigh crash outside. There was a reindeer. There was Santa. The scene seemed lifted straight from a holiday movie. Santa stood up, looked around nervously, then hurried off as if escaping something. The strange detail wasn't just the landing, it was the reaction. If Santa isn't real, what exactly did the camera capture? And why did the figure flee like he had made a serious mistake? Rain of sparrows. After a rainstorm in Bali, Indonesia, thousands of sparrows were suddenly seen falling from the sky. The shocking footage showed birds scattered across streets and rooftops, leaving residents stunned. Local authorities admitted they had never witnessed anything like it and struggled to provide answers. Some blamed extreme weather conditions during the storm. Others suggested possible acid rain in the area. A few even pointed toward distant radiation concerns. Despite the theories, no official cause was confirmed. The sight of so many birds dropping at once felt unnatural, and to this day, the true explanation remains uncertain and deeply unsettling. Figure over Alaska. Near Lazy Mountain, Alaska, a strange formation appeared in the sky, and people couldn't stop staring. Officials later described it as an unusual cloud pattern, but many weren't convinced. The shape looked like a towering gray figure descending from above, with long finger-like trails stretching beneath it. Some even noticed a faint glow within what they called its mouth. Discussions exploded online. Spaceship crash, atmospheric anomaly, something far stranger. Yet when troopers searched the area, no crash site was found. Whatever formed in that sky left no physical trace, only an image that's hard to forget. California fish. Something mysterious streaked across the skies of California, captured on video from multiple locations. At first sight, it resembled a typical shooting star. But shooting stars don't usually burn bright enough to illuminate entire neighborhoods. This object flared intensely as it descended, glowing with unusual brightness before suddenly flashing and dimming again. Then it vanished, seemingly landing somewhere out of sight. No confirmed impact site was ever reported. The brief but dramatic display was enough to ignite widespread curiosity online. Was it a meteor, space debris, or something else entirely? The sky offered no clear answer. Backyard meteor. A homeowner in Brazil heard a loud crash outside his house and rushed to investigate. In his backyard, he found a smoking, glowing rock embedded in the ground. The stone looked intensely hot, still releasing thin trails of smoke as he filmed it.
Gente, olha o tanto que eu tô tremendo. Olha isso aqui.
The video quickly went viral. Some viewers believed it was space debris from a satellite. Others insisted it was a genuine meteorite. If it truly came from space, the man may have stumbled upon something incredibly rare and potentially valuable. Either way, discovering a burning rock in your yard is not something you forget anytime soon.
Eu achava que isso só, sei lá, caía no mar, no...
Doomsday cloud. In August 2017, a Brazilian town looked up and froze. Hanging in the sky was a strange formation that felt apocalyptic at first sight. It resembled a meteor trail or even a tornado suspended midair, twisting without moving. Residents feared it was a warning of something catastrophic. The shape stretched unnaturally across the horizon, dark and dramatic against the daylight. But meteorologists later suggested it was simply an unusual cloud formation shaped by rare atmospheric conditions. Even with that explanation, the image lingered. Sometimes nature alone can create scenes that look like the sky itself is about to fall. Winged shadow. On February 1st in North Carolina, quiet home security footage captured something unsettling. The street sat empty until a massive shadow suddenly raced across the road. It didn't resemble a plane or a drone, and there was no visible aircraft overhead. Locals quickly revived an old legend, claiming the Mothman had been seen in the area for weeks. The shadow appeared to stretch wide, like enormous wings gliding above the houses. As the clip spread online, debates intensified. Once you watch that dark shape sweep past, it's difficult not to wonder what actually passed overhead. Black ring. Residents over Williamsburg, Virginia, were left staring upward when a mysterious black ring formed in the sky above Hampton Roads. The dark circle hovered clearly against the clouds, perfectly shaped and impossible to ignore. Photos and videos flooded social media within minutes. Some believed it was smoke from a distant explosion or industrial fire. Others let their imaginations run further, suggesting portals or unknown atmospheric events. Officials offered no dramatic explanation, leaning instead toward rare smoke vortex phenomena. Still, the sight of a floating black ring suspended in open air felt eerie enough to produce endless debate. Winged descent. A lone hiker filmed something that instantly divided the internet. From the sky above, a humanoid figure appeared to descend, large white wings fully extended. The shape floated gracefully before disappearing behind a mountain ridge. Viewers quickly labeled it an angel, while others insisted it had to be an elaborate illusion or digital trick. The footage spread rapidly, fueling arguments about signs, symbolism, and unexplained phenomena. No clear source or landing site was ever confirmed. Whether a trick of light or something stranger, the image of wings stretching across daylight skies left a lasting impression.